Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another raid Shadow Legends video. So 1.13.5 is finally here. There's not really a lot different to what we've spoken about before, but I figure I should go through the detail anyway, let you know my thoughts, and let's see what is coming. So this new update has got loads of new features, along with game enhancements, balance changes. Yes. So what has happened then? The new platinum chest is here. It is only for that top 300 players. Obviously the feedback didn't make it. Obviously we haven't been able to push that further than 300 players. For those top players that are playing in the Platinum Arena, it's a cool thing. They've got something else to focus on. There's actually a reason to try and get into Plat and stay there. I find it's pretty challenging when the kind of top 100 are probably all going to have the same type of combo of champions, which are very, very difficult to beat. But that being said, we've now got 3 types of platinum chests, one for just the top 3 places each week, then one for 4 to 20, and then one for 21 to 300. And it's no different from what we've already seen. So it's the ability to win avatars. I like that. I think that's a cool thing to add into the game, especially for those top players. Something to drive for that is not going to break the game. It's just going to be kind of like a cool aesthetic thing. I like the idea of it. In terms of the new artifact sets, they only drop from platinum chests. It's a real disappointment for me that we've not pushed that down to gold, just with a slightly worse skill set or star rating or something. But we got that swift parry in, so it's a speed plus 18, crit damage plus 30, and a chance to get the unkillable. People are not going to be rocking these sets for a while. If you think about these chests come out, you might get 1 or 2 pieces. They might not be the same set. You've then got a roll good main stat. You've then got a roll good substat. I think realistically, we're going to be looking at a month or 2 months until anybody is going to have a good set of any of these. They're 4-piece sets. A good set of any of these to really do any real damage with. So it's not the end of the world. It's I actually quite like the sets. I think the sets make sense. I know some people say they're overpowered. I don't think they are. I think they're a good power level for someone who is pushing hard and winning great stuff in the game. What I don't like is that it's only available to 300 people. I'd much prefer we had an arena shop where everybody, no matter where you end up in the arena, made some sort of progress to be able to buy these things. But the people that are at the top tier made that progress quicker. That's what I think should happen, not this. This is not the right way to do it, but I don't mind the sets. The second set, deflection set here, 20% HP, 20% defense, 25% chance to deflect 1 debuff. I like it. I think it's a cool set. So that's the artifact sets. So basically going to go live from next week's reset, and then you'll be in the first kind of competitive zone. I think it's going to make for a really interesting week. I'm definitely going to try and push a team together. I don't really have any silver right now, but I've got to find some from somewhere. I'm going to try and get myself into plat. Trouble I've got is that my time zone is really bad for this, because when I wake up, I pretty much have got about half an hour, unless I set alarms to actually go for this. I've got about half an hour to try and get myself back into plat if I drop out. And it's much easier to attack than it is to defend in this game. So that's tricky, actually. It's a tricky thing in terms of time zones for me, and obviously for a lot of people in the game. So there's definite advantages for being in different places in the world, which is not really the way it should be. So there's also a thing here. So starting from now, players who finish top in Platinum Arena will get like a badge against their username, and it will count the amount of times they finish first. So I'm sure Fighting Cows and Swift and perhaps Stu Gaming are all going to be pushing for this. Again, it's quite a cool thing to do. I like it. Anything like that, which is just kind of like recognition without breaking the game, I'm all for it. I think that's a really good idea. Anything which is just about wrecking the game, I dislike. So, it's just common sense, I guess. Next one here, so they've introduced the daily login rewards. I'll pull that up in a second. So we've now got the rewards through to 180 days. Said it before, say it again. Just turn them on. You don't need to tell us an end date. It's just a monthly refresh. That way you can change the login rewards whenever you want. You don't have to foretell the next 60 days, 100 days, or whatever. Just turn them on, and each month just decide what you're going to do for the login rewards. It seems so just so backwards the way they're doing it. But anyway, we've got Dark Elthane. We're going to check her out in a sec. Lordly Legionary is out, and oh man, they just do the names. Sil of the Drakes, who's a barbarian, so we'll check her out as well. Got some new thing I don't care about. A new champion for St. Patrick's Day, so this might end up being a I guess it could be a fusion, I'm not sure. Or it might just be a summoning chance or something. So we'll check him out as well. So that's in the Bannerlords. So what we got here? Barbarian, Bannerlords, Undead. Potions changed. Just basically, it's a good thing. They've increased the number of lesser potions that you could get. It's a good thing, but it's very just kind of low level. Gold Battle Pass level indicator. I don't really get why they're making such a big deal of this thing. So it will now be displayed in chat, the arena, the bastion, as well as clan and clan boss interfaces. We'll check that out in a second as well. This I really like. So they've made a balance change on Frozen Banshee. So instead of you having to have a load of debuffs up before she'd place poison sensitivity, the new version is it just places it. And it's a 25% poison sensitivity. So she doesn't need all those debuffs up now. You can literally just go in and place the poison sensitivity, and by the looks of it, it's just a 100% chance to place, provided you've got enough accuracy, which is brilliant. That's just like a fantastic change for that champion. That champion has just boosted herself right up into relevancy again. And then there's a little bit of changes here. So there was a bit of a bug around killing people when you had unkillable. If War Master killed them, they were able to be revived again, and it looks like that's been fixed on all of these champions. That's good. And then there's a few kind of just sort of general game tweaks. So Septimus AI is meant to be fixed, and we've got a few kind of tweaks down here, just bug fixes. I don't think there's anything particularly worth calling out. Just check. No, it all looks just general stuff, general game stuff. So let's have a look then at the daily logins. This is my first time obviously logging back in. So we get the Dark Elthane here at day 120. What's the login rewards like? Yeah, I mean 20 pots is okay, I guess. That's the equivalent of 2 big ones. 1 key here, 1 key here. Anytime I see 1 key, I'm pretty underwhelmed, I've got to be honest. What's this? 1 item? 1 5-star item. Books are nice. Obviously shards are okay. Glyphs I like. Energy, I wish there was perhaps a few more days of energy. 4-piece item is okay. What's that? 5-star again? It's okay. It's okay. 100 gems is nice. I think a 1 5-star accessory is pretty poor. I think a clan boss key is pretty poor. 20 potions is pretty poor as well, to be honest, when it's the mid-size ones. But anyway, look, it's login rewards. We got something. I shouldn't grumble. We've got some stuff coming through. That's good. Let's see what the next lot is. This is more like it. 10 big ones, 5 big ones. That's more like what we want to see. Still got clan boss keys in here. A couple of books. Got a champion. And then on to the 180 days. So obviously this is where we get the legendary. So everybody's guaranteed that legendary, which is cool. Speed glyphs in here, which is nice. Again, we've got a 5-star chicken, a couple of 4-star chickens there. Okay, look, it's fine. Look, we've got login rewards again. Hallelujah. It's a basic thing in the game. We all should be pleased that they're in. I'm not going to moan too much about it. That's fine. I've got my rewards there. Let's just see what they're talking about here in the chat thing. So, Hellhades. Okay, so it just tells you up here what level you are on the battle pass. I'm not sure why that's relevant. Who cares, to be quite frank? What difference does that make? Why do we need to publicise that everywhere? I don't know. I don't really get it. Maybe they're looking to extend it at some point and it becomes a bit of a bragging rights, but for me, it's nothing major. Let's go and check out some of these champions then. We've already seen some of the kind of detail around this. Let's check some of the visuals. This is nice. I really like the burning sword, actually. That's really cool. The rest of the model is not particularly exciting, but I really love the sword. A bit like the knight from Game of Thrones. He's got that cool fiery sword. Yeah, I wish they'd... I mean, the aesthetics are actually not as good as they normally do, I think, but the sword's amazing. We've got here, attack 2 times. This is the one that unfortunately is really the wrong affinity, but feels like he should be a Fire Knight champion. Got heal reduction, got decreased speed, and has got reflect damage. So perfect for Fire Knights, but doesn't really work in Fire Knights 20 because he's a blue champion. They're just a bit of, again, just kind of like poor thought process into the way they're going to set up the champion. The new legendary, here he is. So this could be a fusion maybe for St. Patrick's Day, or maybe it's just a new champion they're adding, don't know. It's quite cool. I love the pointy nose. Yeah, it's not bad to look at. Right, so what we got, he's an attack based champion, good base defense, good base speed, very good base attack, pretty poor HP. He's got an attack aura 25%. I think that's more like in line with the epics, but might be wrong. So what's he do then? Attacks 1 enemy 2 times. It's got decreased speed on his A1. Each hit also has a 35% chance of stealing 30% of the current target's turn meter. That's pretty cool. That's very good for spiders. Books up to 50% as well. 50% chance to steal a third of your enemy's turn meter. That's cool. I like it. For an A1, that's really good actually. A2 books up to 100% then to attacks 1 enemy. 85% chance of placing block cooldown for 4 turns. That's really, really long. Also a 35% chance of placing a block cooldown steal debuff on all other enemies for 1 turn. Again, that books up to 50. So one person you completely lock out, and then the rest of the team you potentially lock out for 1 turn. Very arena driven, real kind of arena skill that is. Very cool as well, I like it. We've then got a A3, which has got attacks 1 enemy again, books up to 100% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn, and 50% chance of placing a stun for 2 turns instead, and stealing 50% of the target's current turn meter. That's pretty cool. Resets the cooldown of this skill if the target is killed. That's pretty cool as well. So it's on a 3-turn cooldown. He's just like a turn meter manipulator, skill cooldown manipulator, and then he's got this passive. Places one of the following buffs on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each turn. Increase attack, increase crit rate, strengthen, or block damage. I mean, I don't know. I think he's... If this was a crazy fusion, I wouldn't be breaking my neck to try and get him, to be honest. Maybe he will hit very hard. Maybe he's got great multipliers. We don't know that. But all in all, it feels like a decent kit, but it's all single target. We've got this RNG thing in the back end of it. I don't know. It feels okay, but not anything amazing. So let's check the new Undead, which is the Dark Elf Thanes. This is going to be the 120-day champion. Decrease targets max HP by 30% of the damage. Could be interesting. Increase attack buff on this champion, then attacks all enemies. Booked up becomes, what's that, 75% chance of placing decreased speed. I like that. Good for spiders. Fills this champion's turn meter by 25% and instantly activates this skill whenever this champion on ally receives a freeze. So this is like the kind of anti-Torment type debuff. And then a separate passive instantly removes any freeze debuffs on this champion and replaces it with a buff, which could also freeze her, by the way. So if Torment freezes her and then she buffs, the buff could freeze her again. anyway, yeah, okay. She's okay. She's okay again. She's not anything amazing. She's middle of the road, I'd say. And then lastly, we've got the new legendary. So defense-based champion, which is always nice. Okay base speed. Attacks one enemy, 20% chance of placing a decreased speed. And decreasing target's turn meter, that's nice. All enemies and a chance to stun. What's that? 35% chance to stun, which is pretty cool. Revives an ally of half health and puts ally protection on them. That's pretty cool as well. 4-turn cooldown. I mean, it's a long cooldown for a single target ability with just an ally protection. It's good, but it's not ridiculous. And then she's got a passive, heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Also places an increased speed buff on a random ally for 2 turns. I like this passive. I think it's very good. All in all, good base HP, good base defense, okay base stats. Yeah, I think she's a decent champion. For a freebie, she's a decent champion. So people should look forward to getting her. I think that is about that. All in all, the patch is here. The game's still on 15 minutes after it's been dropped. So thumbs up to that. Well done, Plarium. You got a stable game for the first 15 minutes. Let's hope that 1.14 comes and we've got some new content to play around with. But all in all, you know, we are where we are. Let's make the best of it. This is Hell Hades, signing out.